So this is a book by me. It wasn't requested by anyone, but I thought of it as a cute idea. So this is where the listener is a plant, and if you heard my Shigaraki, you had a little quite the insight of the first part. Now let's get on. Today we're going into the forest today for our class. Aizawa grinned. Everyone was scared, for any time it meant bad. That's when the door opened and Nezu had walked in with a plant pot. Everyone in the class was confused. This is what you will all be training with. Nezu spoke. It's just a dumb plant pot, Bakugou spoke. Aizawa chuckled at that statement. Oh, you're going to regret saying that. Now let's go out. Time had passed. Now they were outside, and Nezu had planted whatever in the ground. That's when Bakugou realized what his teacher meant. Is it just me, or did it move? Jiro spoke. Everyone now knew what their teacher meant. They had seen it too. Now, let me explain what was in the pot. This is one of our main defenses. She is very good at her job. That's when a head popped out of the ground. She can travel under the ground. She can even extend her body. That's when a hand came out of the ground, pulling herself up. Her name is Yin. Her quirk is basically being a plant. And as he finished, Deku had raised his hand. Does that mean she has to eat sunlight like plants do? Deku asked, writing down in his notebook. Yes, and she likes to be in her new pot now. And she likes to be in her pot. Now, let's get this training started, Aizawa spoke. That's when you went down into the ground. They didn't know where she was or when to hit. They were training with one of Yue's defenses. They didn't know what to do. Ha! That's when out of nowhere Denki had gone missing. Everyone, get off the ground and towards the trees, Momo called out to everyone. Deku jumped up onto one of the trees. Yin had almost grabbed him from underneath the ground. You had looked at him like he was like a treat. That was a close one, Deku, Uraka spoke, landing right next to him. Nezu, do you think this test will actually work? Aizawa spoke to the little mouse thing. They will be fine. She knows that they're not a threat. If they were, then they would have been dead already. Nezu spoke out, his tone a lot darker than usual. Guys, I'm going to see something, Deku yelled out, and he asked Uraka if she could use her quirk on him to float. Momo, can you make me a rope for me? He yelled out. Sure thing, but what are you going to do with it? She asked. You'll see, he replied. Momo then threw the rope at him. Ida, jump down there, he yelled to the male. Pardon? Ida asked. You saw that thing Denki went down, Kirishima yelled. Ida just has to hold on to the rope. He yelled at them. I'll do it, Deku. I trust you, Uraka said grabbing onto the rope and going towards the ground. Your hands had come out of the ground, going in to pull her, but as soon as you had her, you were lifted into the air, but you let go as soon as you were almost out of the ground. Ah, I knew it. She won't come out of the earth because I fucking can't read my own writing. Ah, I knew it. She won't come out of the earth. We have an advantage, Deku yelled. Bakugou knew that but now he wasn't dumb. If anyone had a plant quirk like you, then you wouldn't want to leave the earth. That's when he saw you go down under. He didn't know if they knew, but the ground moved a bit when you moved. That's when the tree that Momo was on started to go into the ground. Momo! Some of the class called out. By the time they did, the whole tree went under. At that, Bakugou had a plan. He jumped down. Bakugou, what are you doing? Kirishima asked, yelling him. Winning, he said till he was pulled under. He knew you were giving hints on what to do. So when he was pulled under. He used his quirk. The whole ground came up into a massive explosion, making everything go everywhere. Once everyone made that sure they were okay, Nezu had spoken. Great, all of you have passed, but since Bakugou caught on to what she was doing now and how to win, he is given extra credit. What? I could have died, Denki yelled. That's when Nezu chuckled. Well, then all of you would have been gone by now. The whole class was shocked. How powerful was this thing? Wait, where's Bakugou and Yin? Kirishima asked. Bakugou didn't know where he was. He knew it was that vines were all around him. When he woke up, that's when the vines had gone down into the ground. He relaxed, for he knew it was you. You had written on the ground when he turned to you. You all right? So, it looked like you couldn't talk. Yeah, he said, standing up, walking towards his class. There he is, Nezu spoke. That's when he saw Nezu put down the little pot, and a tiny version of you got in. He noticed at the end of your feet, well, they were roots, kind of. He realized that the setback to your quirk is that you can't leave the earth at all, or you could possibly die. Mouse, he spoke to Nezu. Can she not leave the earth? Bakugo asked. He wanted to make sure. Yes, a matter of fact. But she can leave for an hour. If not back in time, she would... I put day here. It's supposed to be die, though. As if you don't give her light and water, that is another reason, he spoke. When the whole class was over, he headed towards the principal's office. He didn't know why, but he wanted to know more. So, that's why? Nezu said as you stuck your now tiny head out of the pot. Yeah, he spoke. Oh, what? Yeah, he spoke to him. All right, but on one condition. If you let her get into the wrong hands, it would be bad for us, he spoke. Bakugo looked down at you. He didn't know if it was him, but you looked happy. The flower on the side of your head looked, well, it was a little brighter in color. He had gotten into his, what? I think it was supposed to say dorm. No problem. No problem. What? He didn't, oh my god, what the flip? He didn't know. He didn't know what to do ever. And was it just him, or did the room smell nice? Bakugou had given you a bigger pot. You seemed to like it, for now you moved throughout the pot. He chuckled at you. Wait, what? What did he say? He looked at you, and you had written onto the ground of the pot. What's wrong? Can you make people feel things with smell? He asked. Sorry, you wrote. Hmm. He, he, he it says he questioned, but I guess it's not a question. You sighed. Short, my feelings was what you had written. So is it like the scent can change how a person feels? He asked. You smiled. Okay, so what do you want to do? He asked. All you did was lower your head into the pot. We could go outside, let you move around. Once he finished that, you were excited. Sorry if you weren't. But you were usually stuck in this tiny pot until they needed you. That's when he picked the pot up. Want to go outside? He asked, walking out of his dorm. I don't know why, but when I first came up with this idea for this little mini series, I made this and I thought it was so cute. If you have been through the whole thing, you'll understand the little tiny pot. But yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye guys, I love you also very much. Mwah.